beginner cigar smoker looking to enhance your smoking experience? In this video, we'll share some invaluable tips to help you navigate the world of cigars.
Are the best beginner cigars. Beginner cigars that even pros
Guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger and John F. Kennedy enjoy these beauties on several occasions. What is the best cigars for beginners? Cigars come in all flavors, aromas, and sizes, so this list is completely subjective. Classic Connecticut. Now, as a beginner, the last thing you want to think about or worry about is how a cigar is made and crafted. With the Ashton Classic Connecticut, that will be the last thing you have to think about. This is a very popular beginner cigar in this category because this cigar often gives you a coffee and cream flavor, which is very attractive to beginning cigar smokers. And it will give you a very relaxing, mild taste with a touch.
Perdomo Champagne 10th anniversary. Now the size of this is an Epicure 6x54. This is made with an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, Cuban seed Nicaraguan binder with Cuban seed Nicaraguan filler. Now this is one of Perdomo's most popular cigars, and for good reason. It's a very flavorful, refined, and yes, even mild cigar that people just love. This is actually a pretty common cigar for a lot of beginners to choose, but I think this is also just really great in general. I even have friends that are really experienced, and they even really love this champagne by Perdomo. Now this is a Connecticut. This is a Connecticut style. Now Connecticut just refers to the wrapper, which is Connecticut in origin. So tobaccos that were grown started in Connecticut in America, and the seeds in this case have been transplanted to Ecuador and grown there. Even though it's a Connecticut, it's not super bland. It's pretty flavorful for what it is.
Hyde Park, the Macanudo Cafe. Hyde Park is famous for beginners due to its smooth and mellow flavor profile. It features a Connecticut shade wrapper, which lends a creamy and slightly sweet taste with notes of cedar. The Hyde Park size, measuring 5.5 inches by 49 ring gauge, offers a comfortable smoking experience that allows you to savor the flavors without feeling overwhelmed. When smoking, you'll find flavors like delicate creaminess, subtle cedar, and occasional hints of sweetness. This combination creates a well-rounded and enjoyable smoking experience for beginners.
I'm smoking the Macanudo Baron de Rothschild from the Cafe line. This was actually the first cigar I ever smoked 8 years ago. It has Dominican tobacco through and through, used to be made from Jamaican tobacco. This is a very mild cigar with a little bit of earthiness and a little bit of creaminess. This is a smooth, easy smoke that anybody can enjoy as their first cigar, much like I did several years ago. This is also a cheaper cigar. It's usually under $10 and you can find them anywhere.
All right, next is the Foundation Charter Oak Connecticut Broadleaf Maduro. That is a mouthful. The size on this is the Toro in 6x52, and the tobaccos in this are Connecticut Broadleaf, Nicaraguan Habano binder, and Nicaraguan fillers. Now this is a cigar that you might not think of as a beginner cigar, but I think this is a really good choice if you're just starting off. It's so easy to find, not terribly priced, and has a really unique flavor from its Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. Now, Foundation cigars are the brand that Joe Rogan frequently smokes on his podcasts, though his cigars are very different from this particular one. Now, the flavors in this are very different from the Perdomo cigar, but you may really like this. It's more medium in potency, and body and flavor are a little bit thicker. I get a thick dark chocolate with some earthiness, toasted woody notes, and a bit of spice.
The Oliva Connecticut Reserve Petite Corona is another excellent choice for beginners. With its Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, this cigar delivers a smooth and creamy smoking experience. The Petite Corona size, measuring 4 inches by 38 ring gauge, is perfect for those who prefer a shorter smoking time. It offers flavors of toasted nuts, subtle spices, and a hint of sweetness, making it an enjoyable option for beginners exploring milder
Next up, we have the Aladino Connecticut, a Honduran Puro produced by Dairy Tobacco. I remember when these cigars first came out and we all crowded around them because we were excited to try them. A very mild to medium body, exuding flavors of earthiness, licorice, and grape. This is a perfect cigar for a beginner because, as for the retrohale, you don't want any pepper when you first start with cigars, because pepper can be a
Hondudo Fuente Curly Head. Now this cigar is handmade in the Dominican Republic and it surely won't break the bank. These cigars range for about $2.60 per stick. Now these are typically mild in flavor and have a consistent draw, which is very attractive to beginners.
Next is the Drew Estate Undercrown Shade. Now size on this is the Toro Especial and 6x50. This is made with an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, Sumatran binder, and Dominican Criollo filler, Nicaraguan Corojo filler, and Nicaraguan Criollo. Now Drew Estate was one of the new kids on the block in the kind of cigar boom of the 90s. They still kind of have that kind of boutique feel, but nowadays they're really just a powerhouse in the industry, and their cigars are absolute bangers. Now this Undercrown Shade was a later addition to their Undercrown line, and it is superb. If you have a sweet tooth and you like dessert, then this is a must try, and it's a total experience. From start to finish, it just gets better and better and better. And though it starts on the milder side, it really ramps up in flavor, potency, and feel. Some flavors I get are bread and raisins, a lot like raisin bread, caramel, peach, almond, and cream. It starts with no spice, but then it gets a little bit spicy toward the end. It's very dessert-like, and I've even heard it compared to creme brulee, which I think is really accurate. If you like those sweeter flavors, this is a must-try. It's a fantastic cigar for those with a sweet tooth, and just in general, it is just an amazing beginner cigar.
By the Romeo y Julieta 1875 Bully. For those looking for a classic and well-known cigar brand, the Romeo y Julieta 1875 Bully is a great choice. This 5-inch by 50 ring gauge cigar features an Indonesian shade-grown wrapper that produces smooth and mild smoke. The flavors of cedar, nuts, and subtle sweetness make it an appealing option for beginners. With its consistent construction and approachable flavor profile, the Romeo y Julieta 1875 Bully is a reliable choice for those new to cigars.
We have the Davidoff Signature number 2. Most people, when they think about cigars, they think about luxury. They think about expensive cars and expensive wines, expensive liquors, expensive everything. And the Davidoff Signature number 2 is a little bit up there in price, but the Davidoff White Label is a great introduction to your next tier of premium cigars. Davidoff is known for having a very mild white label series, and it's hard to have a bad time when smoking a
Torano. These cigars are specifically made by the Torano family in Honduras. This cigar will typically give you a mild to medium taste packed with flavor. Now this cigar is surely mild enough for beginner cigar smokers, but will leave a complex flavor that will satisfy most seasoned smokers.
Up next, the Monte Cristo White Label Grande Tubos Robusto is a premium cigar sure to impress beginners and seasoned smokers. Measuring 5 inches by 52 ring gauge, this Robusto-sized beauty offers a generous smoking experience. Its stunning Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, which lends a smooth and creamy character, sets the Monte Cristo White Label apart. The flavors of this cigar are rich and complex, with notes of cedar, leather, and a touch of sweetness that lingers on the palate. The construction of the Monte Cristo White Label is impeccable, ensuring an even burn and a satisfying draw with each puff. The Grande Tubos packaging adds a touch of elegance and convenience, allowing you to enjoy this exquisite cigar wherever you
are. Our Arturo Fuente short story. I'll bet before you started smoking cigars, you've heard of Arturo Fuente, and that's because they're one of the biggest brands around. I recommend the Arturo Fuente short story because it is good medium, mild to medium cigar. It goes well with coffee in the morning, goes well with a light rum at the end of the night, maybe even a vodka or a gin, honestly. Arturo Fuente also has a lot of accessories to go with their cigars, including lighters and ashtrays, and of course you've probably seen the open tips. But I would wait before you try one of those. Try a couple of these first. This is also great because it is a really quick smoke. You could probably knock one out in about 45 minutes, maybe an hour if you're careful. Never rush cigars. Cigars are meant to be enjoyed. Next up, we have the La Colmena Amado 44 by Warp Cigars. The great thing about Warp Cigars is that most of them are mild to medium. Even after you enjoy this one, there are plenty of others you can enjoy and still stay in the beginner realm of cigars. La Colmena means the beehive in Spanish, and to go with that, one of the major notes is honey. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of honey, a little bit of creaminess. Goes great with coffee, especially a cafe con leche. The great thing about Warp Cigars is that they have a smaller ring gauge and are much more easily approachable for newer cigars.
CAO Gold Robusto is a cigar that combines quality and affordability, making it an excellent choice for beginners.